Let's be honest, know your numbers is advice everyone throws around and almost nobody makes actually usable. So today not going to give you a lecture, I'm giving you a leadership upgrade. Because the fastest way to feel calmer, more confident, and more in control of your business isn't another marketing strategy. It's a dashboard. And once you have it, you stop guessing, you stop panicking, and you start deciding. Welcome to Grit and Grace, the podcast for business owners who want to grow profitably and sustainably without sacrificing their life to their work. I'm Donna, I'm an accountant based in Australia, and today we're doing numbers in a way that feels powerful, not painful. Before we begin, a quick note, today's episode is general information only. It doesn't take into account your personal circumstances and it's not financial or tax advice. Please seek advice specific to your situation. That's the boring stuff over. Let's go. If numbers feel heavy for you, it's usually for one of three reasons. One, you've been made to think you need to understand everything to look at anything. You don't. Number two, you've been using numbers as a report card on your worth. That stops today. Three, you only look when you're already stressed, so your brain links numbers with danger. We're breaking that association because numbers are not danger. Numbers are leadership. Numbers are power. They show you what's working, what's leaking, and what needs your attention before it becomes a problem. And honestly, the numbers are usually less scary than the stories we invent when we avoid them. Let me give you a quick example. A business owner might avoid checking their bank account for 2 weeks because they feel anxious. In their head, it becomes, it's probably terrible. Then they finally look and think, oh, it's not great, but it's not catastrophic. The stress wasn't the number. The stress was the mystery. Mystery is expensive. So from today, here are your new rules. Rule 1, keep it simple. Rule 2, focus on decisions, not spreadsheets. Rule 3, we use numbers like a CEO, not like a frightened student. You don't need to love numbers, and let's face it, we're not all accountants. You just need to stop letting them be a mystery. Because when money is a mystery, you do one of two things. You overspend to feel better, or you undercharge to feel safe. Neither of which is leadership. Today I'm giving you a CEO dashboard with 4 numbers. Not 40, 4. First one is cash. Second one, profit. Number 3 is margin. And number 4 is debtors. If you track these consistently, you will make better decisions than the business owner who has 20 reports but no rhythm. So let's get through them. Cash is your reality check. It answers, can I breathe this week? But cash is also the number that can mess with your head if you don't use it properly, because it's a moment in time. It is not the full picture. So here's the way a CEO looks at cash. They ask 2 questions. What's my cash balance today? Is it trending up, down, or steady? That's it. So the red flags, you're avoiding checking it. It's trending down for weeks, not days, and you're constantly waiting for one invoice to land so you can relax. The CEO move is, if cash is tight, you don't spiral. You take action. So let's say you have $18,000 in the bank. Sounds all right, doesn't it? But you also have a BAS due, insurance is due, rent is due in the next fortnight, and suddenly you don't have $18,000. You have something else. That's why cash needs context, which we'll cover when we talk about weekly rhythm. The point is, cash isn't there to scare you. It's there to tell you what's real right now. So number 2, profit. Profit is not greed. Profit is stability. Profit is what pays you properly. It funds support. It creates options. And here's the vavoom truth. Revenue is vanity if it doesn't leave you with something to keep. Profit tells you whether the business model works. A quick way to think about it is, without getting too technical, after I pay the costs of running and delivering this business, is there enough left to make this worth it? The red flags here are you're flat out, but there's no financial relief. You keep saying, once I get more clients, I'll be fine. And that repeats over and over. And you can't pay yourself consistently. So using some numbers as an example, if you have $15,000 months in sales, but your expenses, contractors, software, and all the other little business costs eat most of it, you can end up with a business that looks impressive and still feels fragile. Profit is the difference between I'm busy and I'm building something that can last. The CEO move here is profit improves when you pull the right lever. Price, costs, scope, efficiency, not when you simply work harder. Number 3 is margin. This is the why am I exhausted number. Margin is the number that explains why you can be successful on paper and still feel like you're drowning. Margin is simply what you keep as a percentage. A low margin means high pressure. High pressure creates overworking, overcommitting, discounting, resentment, and that constant feeling of I can't slow down because everything will fall over. A CEO question is my margin giving me breathing room or is it boxing me in? If you don't know your exact margin, don't get stuck. Start with a rough truth. Are you keeping enough after costs and time? So to keep it real, let's look at some numbers. If you price a package at, say, $2,000 and it takes you 25 hours end to end, including all the administration, the calls, revisions, and follow-up, you haven't actually sold a $2,000 package. You've sold your time at a rate that may not sustain you. Margin is not just a finance number, it's an energy number. The CEO move with margin. Margin improves when you tighten scope, raise prices, reduce costs, or improve delivery efficiency, not when you stretch yourself thinner. Number 4, and the last of the 4 numbers, is debtors, accounts receivable, or people who owe you money. Debtors is the money owed to you for work you have already done. So this is where I'm going to get really direct. If you deliver work and don't collect on time, you are funding your client's business. And that is not kind, that is risky. A calm business has calm collections, not because clients are perfect, but because the owner has a process. So the CEO's questions are, how much is owed to me right now? How old is it? What is my follow-up rhythm? And the red flags. You avoid following up because it feels awkward. I don't want to ask them for money. The same client pays late every single time. And I have fallen into this trap myself in the last 30 years. Your cash flow relies on hope rather than a system. I hope that client is going to come and pay me this week. I hope. You keep delivering while invoices are overdue. If you have $12,000 owed to you and $8,000 of it is over 30 days, you don't have a sales problem this week. You actually have a collections problem. And collections problems have solutions: clear terms, consistent follow-up, and boundaries. The CEO move here is to make follow-up routine, professional, unemotional. You're not asking for permission, you're collecting what you earned. The CEO money rhythm is 20 minutes a week. And here's how we turn your numbers into power. Once a week, same day, same time, a 20-minute money rhythm. In that 20 minutes, you will check your cash balance. You will check your debtors. You will check what's due in the next 14 to 30 days. You'll do a quick profit margin pulse, and then you'll choose one action. One action is the difference between I looked at my numbers and I led my business. So examples of some of the actions that you could take would be invoice today instead of on Friday. Follow up the top 5 debtors. Cancel a subscription that isn't earning its keep. Tighten your scope or on your next proposal. Raise prices for new clients. Set a buffer transfer each week. Introduce deposits before work begins. The key is that numbers without decisions become noise. Numbers with one decision become leadership. And if you're thinking, but I don't have time for this, I'll say it clearly. You don't have time not to. 20 minutes a week prevents the 2 a.m. stress spiral. And I know there's a lot of us out there who have had that 2 a.m. stress spiral. So in plain English, why doesn't my profit match what's in the bank? You think, oh, I'm profitable, so why don't I feel it? The plain English reasons are timing. The invoices for the work you've done are not yet cash. Sometimes the money in the bank is actually not yours. It's GST and your income tax. You're taking irregular payments out of that account for owner's drawings or your own wages. And then you've got debt repayments in there as well, and also those big annual bills, rates, semi-annual, registration, insurances. None of that means you're failing. It means you need visibility and a rhythm. Surprises feel like stress. Planning feels like power. So this week, what I want you to do, and yes, this is a very gentle kick up the backside. Action 1, write your CEO dashboard on one page. Cash, profit, margin, debtors. Secondly, I want to pick your money meeting time and lock it in. Don't wait to feel ready. Put it in the calendar and put it in now. Choose a time, choose a day, cross it out for every week. This is how you change your identity. I'm a business owner who deals with money calmly. Numbers are not the enemy. Avoidance is. When you lead with numbers, you stop guessing and you start building a business that can support you properly. Until next week, keep your grit and protect your grace.
In the quiet, before the daylight breaks, I'm drawing lines for my own sake. I've carried more than I let on show, still found a way to learn and grow. With steady hands I set the pace, a fierce heart held in gentle space. I won't trade my peace for proof, I won't build a life without a roof. I'll rise, I'll rest, I'll recalibrate, strong enough to do, wise enough to wait. It's grit and grace, side by side, fire in my chest, calm in my mind. I'll build what lasts, I'll choose my lane, turn pressure into purpose, paint it again. With grit and grace, I'm free to be all I am, becoming steadily. I won't shrink back to make it easy, I won't stay small to keep things tidy. I'll speak the truth, I'll name my worth, put roots down deep and do the work. And when it's heavy, I won't break, I'll bend with care, then reset my faith. I'll measure growth in more than gold, in quiet wins and courage bold. I'll lead with heart, I'll honor pace, ambition guided by restraint and grace. It's grit and grace, side by side, fire in my chest, calm in my mind. I'll build what lasts, I'll choose my lane, turn pressure into purpose, paint it again. With grit and grace, I'm free to be all I am, becoming steadily. Let it be simple, let it be true, a steady rhythm pulling me through. When doubt is loud, I'll still begin, again and again I'll choose to win. Not by force, not by fear, by showing up year after year. It's grit and grace, side by side, fire in my chest, calm in my mind. I'll build what lasts, I'll choose my lane, turn pressure into purpose, paint it again. With grit and grace, I'm free to be all I am, becoming steadily. Grit and grace, I rise, I breathe, I make side I run.